What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel, a channel where I try to teach you how to survive in a trench environment, okay? Trench warfare. Today I'm going to teach you how to conduct a linear defense, i.e., I'm going to teach you how to stay alive long enough to be able to write a letter home when inevitably you find yourself drafted or fighting in a trench, okay? Whatever Minuteman end of the world scenario you fight in, or maybe you're a dot mil guy or gal that needs to learn how to conduct trench warfare because your NCOs are failing you. Well, welcome to the channel. Guys, today I'm going to teach you the characteristics of a defense and exactly how to occupy and dig a trench and make sure that the enemy cannot infiltrate your fighting position and kill you. Just for the algorithm and for YouTube, you, manual reviewer, this is for Minecraft purposes only to help build your server, and this is an undisclosed beverage as we teach this class. Guys, leave a like and a comment if you enjoy the channel. The comment for the video is going to be a rock, because if trench warfare continues the way that it's been happening, we will inevitably end up in the Stone Age. So leave a rock comment down below, grab whatever you need to stay engaged, grab some note-taking material, and we're going to get into it. Guys, if you want to support the channel, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. If you want to become a member of the Patreon, I'll send you a link to a Discord server where you can find buddies to train with, game with, stay up late, talk about all your favorite trench defense stories. Guys, Palmetto State Armory, they are the sponsor of the video. The way the deal works is I only get a kickback if you buy something using the link below. Thank you for using that link. Thank you for commenting. Cheers with this undisclosed beverage. And let's get right into it. Okay, the first and foremost, you're never going to deliberately establish a defense unless you know you're going to be decisively destroyed, okay? So your element or your platoon, your company, if I use the word element, that just means whatever size of organization you're with tactically, is never going to randomly decide to establish a defense unless you're going to die. So what that means is we're anticipating, I'll put some X's up here, okay, and it will get pretty intricate by the end of the video. If at any point in time you get overwhelmed, what I want you to do is just pause it and rewind. If any of my OG fans can help me out and leave a comment below with a timeline of how and when I discuss things, that would be great. So you're never just going to establish a defense unless you're expecting an overwhelming enemy force to come and kill you or the area that you're occupying. So in that case, we're going to establish a defense. But before we establish the defense, we need to talk about the characteristics of a defense, okay? We have disruption. Disruption, the reason disruption is a thing is because you can disrupt an enemy attack, okay? We'll get more into it later. Maneuver, a defense will allow you to maneuver on the enemy, okay? Again, all of these will make more sense in a minute, so just bear with me. Flexibility. Guys, a defense, if you imagine you have a straight line, you can have a large portion of forces here, but you can pull from there and reoccupy another position, thus able to advance through that new position. And no, that is not how we're going to build our trench, but don't worry, we'll talk about it in a little bit. Okay, so flexibility. Massing effects is kind of the same thing, but think more in line with artillery support for massing effects. Preparation, a deliberate defense will allow you to prepare for follow-on operations, okay? Security, the reason why a deliberate defense is important because normally, tactically, you're in some sort of circle where you have 360-degree security. That, drill sergeants, is going to cause you to be extremely exhausted and tired, okay? So if you can have a linear defense, which is what I'm going to teach you today, that is going to maximize recovery, maximize planning, and it is going to still allow 360-degree security because everyone will be online. Primary alternate. Okay, so now, a lot of you guys have seen World War I videos, films, or whatever, and in those, the trenches are straight lines. That's the first thing I want to talk about, okay? So, as we're maneuvering up, and now we're going to get into the fun part, as we're maneuvering up, we're anticipating an enemy assault. So, let's assume that there's 3 companies, just to make this easy. You can have 3 teams, 3 platoons, whatever works for you, but today we're going to talk about 3 companies. The way it's going to work, let's say we have Company A, Company B, Company C. Roughly 180 paratroopers per company. The way it's going to work is Company A is going to be ordered to occupy in a linear defense by just simply being there and halting. So imagine a bunch of guys just online, bunch of little circles up here, okay? A bunch of paratroopers, 180 of them, online. This is Alpha Company. They are going to be charged with setting a hasty defense. Okay, what do you think Bravo is going to do? At that point, Bravo Company is going to begin digging in. The way it's going to work initially is going to look like this. This is going to be Bravo Company. Bravo Company is going to dig in, and Charlie Company is going to dig in back here. Now, go ahead and post down below why you think Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie companies are digging in like that. Now, key note, Alpha Company is not going to dig. They are up here. Their job is to simply die. What that means is they're going to soak up the enemy initial assault. Their only job is to literally prevent these enemy attacks. Okay, just imagine there's a bunch of them up here. Their job is to soak up and stop the enemy advance towards Bravo Company. Okay, so Alpha Company will simply hold position up here until Bravo Company and Charlie companies have had a position to had a chance to dig. Okay, so Bravo Company is going to dig what's called our primary defensive line. Charlie Company is going to dig either our supplementary or our alternate trench line, okay? There will be 3 different trenches. Write this down. A primary, an alternate, and a contingency. A primary is where you intend to fight from. What that means is that's where you're expecting the most deadly course of action from the enemy advance is to attack straight at your primary trench. Your alternate trench, I don't have enough whiteboard to work with here, but you have to imagine your alternate trench line is going to be offset from your primary. It is going to be an area that you can occupy if the enemy tries to outmaneuver you or attack from an area you're not expecting. For demonstration purposes, we are going to put our supplementary, okay, trench directly behind the primary trench. And what I'll do for you, I'll be nice to make this easier to articulate, and I will draw the supplementary trench as a different color. We'll use orange. It's not that much of a different color, but it will have to do for now. That is not orange. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay, this will be our supplementary trench. Now, there's something I need you guys to note. Note, they are not in a straight line. The first thing you're going to do, this will be first platoon, second platoon, third platoon, and headquarters. They are not going to dig the trench in a straight line. They are going to dig the trench in a zigzag or random manner, okay? Just like that. Everybody in the trench will be connected in state, okay? After you have dug initially into the earth, approximately, I believe it's 7 foot. Someone will look it up in the handbook, but it is basically you're going to dig in to 7 feet, and then you're going to add a step up to be able to actually engage the enemy. And in this trench line, you're going to dig in, okay, key fighting positions for your machine guns. After you dig that in, and this is the most important piece, you're going to dig in an egress trench. An egress trench is simply a fallback. If the enemy overruns you, you need a way to fall back. So that is what these dotted zigzag lines are going to be. A fallback trench or an egress trench. As Bravo Company is digging in, the Charlie Company will be doing the same exact thing, except they are going to focus on also resupplying Bravo Company, okay, or whatever element you have up here. Now, the key thing to know, you're not just going to dig. You need to put concertina wire or barbed wire out in front of your formation. I will get another color to further illustrate that. But you will add C-wire. The 3 types of wire are going to be protective, which is what I'm drawing right now. This is a protective wire. Just like the name says, you need protection. Okay, always use protection. So you're going to have protection. This is your protective wire. It is simply the final piece of wire 35 meters away, hand grenade range, from your primary trench line. This is your protective wire. Out of your protective wire, you're going to have what's called supplementary wire. You guys better be writing this down. This is going to be your supplementary wire. Again, literally just concertina wire or barbed wire. That is going to come out from your protective wire. And in the middle of from your protective wire through through your supplementary wire, you'll have what's called tactical wire. The reason why you have 3 different types of wire is simple. The protective wire is your last line of defense. Your supplementary wire, these 2 right here, are going to act as a funnel to funnel the enemy advance in, and then you can kill them 35 meters away or more in this kill box utilizing this tactical wire right here. Okay? That is going to make it easier for you to actually kill the enemy. Okay. Okay. So we have protective, supplementary, and tactical. That will be on the test. Let me get some undisclosed beverage. All right. Moving in from there. Guys, in your trench line, you need to establish rally points, so RPs, and you need to establish sustainment link-up points. What that means is an area where you can go get more ammunition and an area where you can eat chow. You will never eat chow on the line, nor will you ever leave an area of the trench unsecured. What that means is the minimum amount of security you can have, which is people awake and pulling security towards the enemy, i.e. watching, is going to be 50%, okay? It will never go below 50%. It is not like a patrol base where you can utilize 33% security. The minimum security will always be 50%. Now that we've talked about your protective, your supplementary, your tactical wire, now we must talk about your primary, supplementary. So, the way this works, as the enemy advances towards your position, you will begin having fires, okay? So Alpha Bravo 001, artillery on the enemy. As the enemy gets closer, you will use smaller. So maybe you use 155s, then 120s, then 81s, then 60 millimeter mortars. And as they get closer, that's when you are going to begin engaging them with your small arms, i.e. your rifles. If you feel, as the leader on the ground, that they are going to infiltrate your primary trench, you will begin breaking down your platoon or your company and sending them back in this egress trench towards the supplementary trench. What that means is you're going to sacrifice some of your people to stay in this primary trench long enough to stop the enemy advance from advancing on you, and you're going to send most of your company back in these egress trenches to occupy this supplementary trench. Guys, it will also work in reverse. If we get pushed back and we are able to regain our trench line, we will do the same thing. Key note, these egress trenches need to be dug into the earth, i.e. they can't just be a path on the ground, because that is how you'll have your troopers trying to get up and out of the trench and then will die, okay? So you need to actually dig in to the earth a fallback trench or an egress trench. Now, the way that trench warfare works is taking ground and losing ground. The only reason we stop to build a defensive line is to prepare and plan for a follow-on attack, okay? So the only reason we're building all this is to stop the advance and retake territory. You should never just be resting on your laurels. What that means is, just because we're having a successful defense, we need to transition to an attack as quickly as possible. If we cannot mount a full assault from our trench, we need to begin conducting raids. That means we need to have small groups of 12 to 15 guys, fixed bayonets, go out at night, try to jump into the enemy trench and kill them. Okay, that is the only way you're going to keep the enemy on their toes, or else they're going to get comfortable and they're going to keep attacking you. Okay, so you must conduct what's called counterattacks. If you want a whole video on counterattacks or exploiting the enemy after they attack, post down below. So, if the enemy trench line is up here, you need to have some sort of plan to conduct a raiding party to move up and into their trench and kill some of them to keep them on their toes. Because if you don't conduct raids or spoiling attacks, then guess what, guys? They are just going to continuously attack you. All right, in summary, that is a very hasty version of how you will conduct a linear defense, a deliberate linear defense. The way resupply works is they come up through the rear elements and they just get passed to the front. It sucks. If you've ever had to hike up a mountain just to carry water, or hike down a mountain just to carry water back up a mountain, but you drink 3/4 of the water you got from the bottom of the mountain, carrying it back up to the top of the mountain, post down below. Guys, this is a very hasty version of how to tell you how to survive in trench warfare. If you want more information, post down below. If you want a video on how to take a trench, post down below. If you want a video on how to conduct the raiding party into the enemy trench, let me know. Thanks for being here, guys. In summary, you're going to need to know this for when you have to use this in your Minecraft server. Thanks for being here, and until next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average linear defense enjoyer, signing out. Cheers.